Now we're going to have another word with Steve Wallace, who's in the studio, about the Summit Garage Premier League that kicks off tomorrow night in the Midlands. It's the second season. We've now got a new division of 14 teams coming to the new first division, it is called. £5,000 prize money going on this year. You know, it's took off tremendously, hasn't it, Steve?
It really has. Fantastic support from the sponsors. You talked to Brian earlier about bowls in general, and over the years that's been a big failing with the game. We've lost sponsors. All of a sudden we've got Summit putting all this money into the game, and we're lucky enough to be involved.
Yeah. Now, the Greville Arms last year were obviously the champions. I think you did exceptionally well. You started the season with 2 good wins by travelling into Staffordshire, winning at Windmill and at M&B at Chester. It obviously must have set you up for the season, really.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to win our first 5 games. Obviously, you said 2 away, and then we just consolidated from there. Later on, we went over to the George with what was for us a slightly weak side, and we won on the George, and it was just a question then of making sure we won our home games.
Yeah. This season, I mean, we've got the fixture. I don't know who you're playing tomorrow in your opening game.
Oh, we've got a nice easy opener tomorrow. We're away at the George.
All right.
And they are obviously our big rivals, always have been. Really looking forward to it. We've got an even bigger squad of players to pick from this year, and I've been fortunate enough, if that's right, to be given the captain's job this year.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure you will. Who do you think can be your rivals this year?
Well, I think there's so many. I was listening to Anthony Aldridge earlier, and he mentioned he's expecting big things from Woodfield this year. There's obviously Chadsmore, who were the only team last year to even get close to us on the Greville. Nobody got near us, so I'm expecting a big run from Chadsmore. And I think King George V, with the players that they've got there, the reigning Wycombe Worcester champions, have been for 2 years. I expect to see them run us close as well.
Yeah. I'd say it's a very evenly balanced league, isn't it? I mean, like, no disrespect to the Greville. I mean, you won it last year. You could easily lose in a home match, and struggling to come up. The same applies to every team, doesn't it?
You must get off and win your home games. That we learned last year that the home side was very important, and we were lucky enough, like I say, just to get those few away wins.
Yeah, it's excellent. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, there's 14 new teams been accepted into the Summit League Division 1. With a format, a unique format of the 14 teams playing 9 sides home and away, and then avoid playing 4, which is something that's created a tremendous amount of interest. Among the new teams coming into the division are Shropshire League champion St George's, who seem to be most people's favourite. On the line now, we've got the captain of St George's, Alan Paling. Good evening, Alan.
Hi, Mel.
How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Favourites for the title, St George's, is that about right?
Well, I think we seem to be, but we'll have to see how it goes, won't we?
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of teams in it, Alan, that you wouldn't know about so much. Who do you think are going to be your main challengers?
Well, I mean, as the draws come out, with missing 4 teams, it seems like I think we missed Moseley, Boldmere, which are good teams, and I don't know whether it's a good thing that we don't play them or we should play them to try and beat them. But I don't really know. We'll just have to see how it goes.
I mean, I've in the last week or two played friendly games for Chadsmore. We've played St George's, yourself, Great Bar, Lee Hall, and Sutton Park. I must admit, I was pretty impressed with the Sutton Park team. I think you were there yourself that night, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
No. Oh no, because you didn't play that one. But they are, as I said, look, a top quality side. They got Darren Smith in from Derby, plus the county men we know, Richard Britton, Dave Sadler. Andy Nuttall, they look like they could put out a good 8, really.
Yeah. I think we've got as good a chance as any. I mean, obviously, last year, Peter Farmer and myself played it, obviously, with you guys at Chadsmore. And we will have a go at ourselves this year. I don't think many people out of the league will know our green.
No,
I mean, it'll be a little bit of a banker at home, but and some of the away greens, fortunately, quite a few of us know quite a lot of the greens. I think apart from Kings Norton is it, and probably Drake's Drum.
Yeah, well, we've got with us in the studio Steve Wallace, who you know from the Greville.
I remember him from last year.
Yeah. Steve, I mean, Alan's on about Kings Norton and Moseley. What do you think of these sides?
Yeah, them are from Warwick and Worcester, and there's some very strong sides. I mean, he's already mentioned Boldmere, Moseley and Sutton Park. And Drake's Drum are also a Division 1 side, along with Great Bar. Over 8, I think, as you've already said, most of these teams can put out a really good 8, and Sutton Park and Boldmere and Moseley, for me, are the 3 very strong teams from Warwick and Worcester.
What do you think of the format, Alan?
Well, how it came out, obviously I sat through the meetings and I thought it was a bit bizarre to start off with, and then I thought, yeah, why not? It makes the draw something quite interesting, and also it keeps all the interest in the league. With not refusing teams.
It's given everybody an opportunity to play. And I must admit, everyone who spoke to me, the draw has created a hell of a lot of interest. People seem more interested in that than they do the Premier Division, actually.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I mean, this year, obviously, people will be looking over their shoulders with obviously being relegation, and who's going to come up and who they need to look out for.
Yeah. The other thing, Alan, as well. I mean, what was your overall impression? As you say, you played for Chadmore last year. What was your impression of the league and the standard?
It was absolutely outstanding. I was with Peter today. We were playing in the Glimwed doubles, and we were talking about it on the side of the green. And we said, last year it was absolutely fantastic. We really look forward to Mondays. And as what was quite openly said, it was like playing county games every single Monday, really.
Did you think your involvement might tempt one or two more Shropshire clubs to come over?
Oh, I think it might do. Obviously, you've got issues with, obviously distance, and things like that. But yeah, maybe so. I mean, I've tempted a few players, who don't naturally play for St George's, as in Scott Harris and Spencer Clark, to actually come and play for us. And last Wednesday we were playing a different cup match, and I actually had Peter Bound, who asked me if he could come and play as well.
Yeah.
It's quite bizarre.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you're playing the Shropshire Premier League and you're playing the Staffordshire Premier League on a Saturday afternoon, and the Summit League. What do you think of the standard of all the leagues?
The Shropshire Premier League.
Yeah.
The Shropshire Premier League is a very, very good league. But as in comparison to the Summit League last year, I've got to say the Summit Premier League was a step higher, most definitely, and that's one of the reasons why us at St George's want to come into it.
Yeah, obviously. Well, all I can say, Alan, it's a good to have you on. We must wish all 14 clubs every success in the league. And I'm sure that the teams in the Premier Division actually will probably save a bit of money on food this year with you not being around, because you ate most of them out of house and home last year.
Yeah. You remember what I said last year? There was one person who could eat more than me, and it was Russell Prosser.
Yeah, that's probably about it, Alan. So anyway, I hope these 14 teams have got plenty of chip shops nearby to keep you going. So thanks for joining us, Alan, and we'll see you soon, mate.
Thanks, Mel.
Thank
Good
you.
night, Alan.
Good night.
Good night.
Right, that was Alan Piling, captain of St George's team in the Summit Premier League.